Thank you for purchasing a SKYMO radio mount. This video is going to be just a quick getting started guide for how to use it. And for this example, we're going to be using part number 20106A, which fits certain 2019 to 2025 Silverado and Sierras with the split bench seat. And I mention that just more for your own information if you're curious what part we're using, because the specific application of this part isn't really relevant to what we're discussing in this video. Okay, let's get into it. So when you open up your box, you're going to see the following. You'll have a box with hardware, you'll have your mounting plate, and you'll have your mount base. So here everything is unpackaged. You have your two hardware packs, your Allen key, your mounting plate, and your mount base. The mount base has multiple sets of holes for height adjustability. So depending on your radio and your preferences, you can move the position of the radio up or down. The metal mounting plate will get secured to the mount base with the included hardware, utilizing two of the holes in the mount base to do so. And I want to mention that this metal bracket is not meant to replace your OEM radio bracket that came with the radio, or some radio manufacturers make you purchase it separately. But that radio bracket that came with your radio is going to be mounted to the metal mounting plate. So now let's take a look at how all this goes together. And I have an AnyTone AT-778UV here that we'll use for the demo. I found that for this radio, I like the height when the bracket is at this second position from the bottom. So that is what I'm going to use for the demonstration. Your two washers will go on your cap screws. I'm going to place the square washer, the square nuts in here first. Have to make sure that they go in there flat. All right. And here's where that Allen key is going to come in handy. I'm going to get this one started. And then I'll start the other one. I like to take my thumb and a finger there and just kind of put some downward pressure to make sure this stays level on the mount base as you tighten these down. Okay, and that's how it's going to look at this stage. The next step is going to be to put the OEM radio bracket onto the mounting plate. And to do that, we use the other set of hardware. Okay, so that's going to go on here just like this. Flip it over. To tighten this down, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver and a 3/8 inch wrench. As you're doing this, kind of try to center this bracket as best as you can. Unless you want it offset, you can do that too. I'm going to try to center mine. The next step is going to just simply be to install the radio on the bracket. All right. And here we are. So this is how your whole assembly should look at this point. You have your mount base, your mounting plate, your factory radio bracket there, and your radio mounted on that. Once that's done, it's just a matter of installing this entire assembly wherever it goes in your vehicle. And again, this is going to be product specific, so if you need to, review the product photos on SKYMO.com to see where it's going to go for your specific radio mount. In this case, it just fits on this cup holder right here, so I'm just going to press it right into place, and that's it. Now, I do notice in review photos sometimes that people haven't pressed this all the way down onto their cup holder or console. This underside here should be sitting pretty much flat against this surface. So make sure that you press it all the way down. That's going to give you the most secure fit and make sure that this stays in place. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to support@skymo.com. We really appreciate your business. Thank you for your order, and thanks for watching.